Wow. Gotta show you this too. It's great quality. The camera with the snake in there. Ready for the video?
Yes.
Let's get it.
I look like a mamba, to be honest. It was really skinny. I was like, anyway, I was intrigued and was really excited about it. And I posted it in my stories on Instagram, but I didn't realize he had an affinity for snakes. I mean, obviously he's gonna like all of the animals, but
yes,
it was super cool. Here, so hold his body. I just kind of grab. It doesn't matter how you grab.
Okay. Wow. There we go, y'all. First time I've ever held a snake. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Oh, yeah.
Present practice. What is vibing? This is Vish and
Nicole
and
Luther.
And today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on
Sadhguru shares his knowledge on snakes.
And today I'm here with Nicole. Want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Nicole. I live in Austin, Texas, and I have a collection of snakes and plants.
Sweet. And what's the name of your snake right here?
This is Luther. Luther is a Mexican black king snake located in the regions of California and Mexico. I'm not 100% on the California part, but I'm definitely sure on the Mexico part. He's currently in shed right now, which is why his color is not so crisp and clear and shiny. And shed means is when they're in the process of, when they're about to shed their skin. Normally, I generally kind of leave snakes alone when they're in that process because it's uncomfortable, but he's totally chill and fine with being out.
He's a very beautiful creature right there. And how long have you had him for?
I got him maybe a year and a half ago, and he's probably close to 2 years old. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
He's wonderful. Sweet.
Well, I appreciate you being here, Luther. And with that, I'm curious, you said you've had some experience with Sadhguru himself.
Yes.
You want to tell them about that?
Sure. When I started my spiritual path or opening awareness, it kind of began with Sadhguru. I had a life coach that would show me videos or introduce me to some of his teachings, and I've slowly been watching his videos ever since.
Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I myself have actually found Sadhguru himself about, actually I would say 2 years now. Mm. My mom had actually first found him back in 2016, I think, 2015, 2016. And she found him to be very helpful. But full transparency, at the time when I was in high school, I really wasn't too aware of the spiritual journey. I would see all these gurus, I'm like, just another regular guru. Yeah. But fast forward now, it's been about 2 years, and I've been really diving deep into this journey. I'm so grateful for him. And it's really interesting because I used to have this fear of snakes as well. And seeing Sadhguru and his passion for snakes, or how much he loves snakes, has definitely got me a bit closer and more open to these beautiful creatures that we have here. So excited to have you here. And
thanks for having us.
Sadhguru's a yogi, mystic, and visionary.
Let's get into the video.
Let's do it. Cool.
Just in the middle, hold him, just pick him up. He will simply come without any resistance. If there is no any anxiety. I don't know what's the level of interest in snakes, accordingly I will go. Hello? I've been involved with snakes from a very early age. When I say early, I caught my first snake probably when I was 5.5 years of age. What is significant about this is, snake is one creature. If you do not know this, it's stone deaf, you know this? All snakes are stone deaf, they don't have hearing mechanism at all. So, it literally has ear to the ground, its entire body is to the ground feeling reverberations. To what extent means, let's say there is going to be an earthquake somewhere in Central Asia. If you just observe a cobra today, let's say in the next 3 days there's going to be something happening, If you observe a cobra, how he behaves, you know there's going to be an earthquake. If you study it sufficiently, you can even indicate the direction in which it's going to happen and an approximate distance. Whether it's going to happen 100 kilometers away, 1000 kilometers away or 3000 kilometers away, you can make an approximate guess, like meteorological science, you can observe. Because he's got his entire body to the ground, even the smallest reverb that he feels, he behaves differently. So in that context, he is very perceptive. And he is also chemically very perceptive. The only way he knows you is by your chemistry. He doesn't see you very well, but he knows your chemistry very well. See, if you go… don't try this by yourself, huh? Because you're on pot. You may not be quick enough for them. If you just go and pick up a cobra simply like this, not by his head or something, just in the middle, hold him, just pick him up, he will simply come without any resistance. If there is no any anxiety or anything within you, you show little bit of anxiety, he will go for you because he sees it as danger immediately. So I was telling people, people were saying, how do we know, Sadhguru, we are really meditative and at ease? I said, we must do a cobra test for you. If you just pick it up, if he just comes, you're at ease. If he reacts, that means you're not at ease. I don't know, one picture came for a moment in that video where I'm holding a king cobra. You saw that one? A king cobra, I think no, not in this, it didn't come. I think a king cobra was on the ground. There's another picture where I'm holding a king cobra halfway down and he's just like that. A king cobra is a snake that if it bites you, it'll just hardly give you 20 to 40 minutes, you'll die within that. A regular cobra, it bites you, because you said you have snakes, I'm giving you some knowledge. It mainly… the cobra venom affects your cardiovascular system, it gives you anywhere between 4 to 6 hours. If you don't get excited, you may get another 1 or 2 hours extra. If it bites you in the body, you will have 4 to 5 hours. If it bites you in the limb, you may get 6 to 8 hours time. But if a viper bites you, you have much less time. If a banded carrot bites you, you have just 1.5 to 2 hours. Because one venom attack affects your neurological system, another venom affects your cardiovascular system. What it is doing to you is your blood gets thicker, so you can't breathe. And everything gets tough because the heart will start pumping in a certain way because the blood gets thicker and thicker, coagulation happens across the body. Why I'm saying this to you is, the nature of the venom gives him that. Venom is not only in his sac, he's producing it in his entire body. Today, there's so much research gone into the medical sciences, you will see in the next 5 to 10 years' time, almost all neurological ailments will be treated with cobra venom, snake venom and scorpion venom and spider venom. And some sea snakes which have very special kind of venoms, which could kill you in 5–10 minutes. So, a lot of research has gone in. Almost for every neurological problem that people are going through, like Parkinson's and memory losses, all this they are going to treat with venom. Still it has not been approved, but much research has gone in this direction. So it knows your chemistry so well. The beautiful thing about this is, there was a time when I'm sitting in some jungles in the Western Ghats. You guys are on the east, but you must come to the Western Ghats, that's a real jungle, okay? It's a rainforest. If I'm sitting and meditating, normally I don't know why, now I'm wondering why I sat in the afternoons, but I always sat in the afternoons, not early mornings. Afternoon I sit for meditation and I'm like sitting for 5–6 hours. When I open my eyes, a dozen snakes are sitting here. They're just drawn to that chemistry. When your chemistry changes, they just know and it comes. This is why Adiyogi is shown with a cobra on his, around his neck, to indicate that he is meditative, he is still within himself. If you become still within yourself, you pick up the cobra, simply it'll come like that. So, we can give you a cobra test, or we can send people from our yoga center who will train you how to handle. Suppose a snake came inside, how to take him and leave him in his habitat. He's come here not because he want to listen to the lecture or the conversation or the air conditioning, he's not come for anything that you have come for. By mistake, he's entered. You just have to let him back there. For this little bit beyond fear you must be to take it, but without training if you take it, you could endanger your own life. So if you want, we can train 15, 20 people on the campus who can handle this safely.
So what did you think, Nicole, of that video?
There's just so much good stuff that I wish I could play all the time when people come up to me with their questions that are all fear-based. I'm like, this is what it is. Sorry, there's a little resentment in there. But what I really like is what he's talking about when he's like woke up after 5 or 6 hours of meditating. There's like all of these snakes around him. If I am not completely, even if I'm a little bit nervous, my snakes can sense it. And I know this because their body kind of tightens around me. They might hiss at me. And I can, when it's just me and my space and my snakes, they act in a completely different way. And also, if I can trust a snake that it's not one that's like going to go explore, I will meditate with it for 20, 30 minutes and it'll just be, I don't know how to describe it. They can sense the, Sadhguru uses the word chemistry, but I feel like sense the difference in vibration, and it's really pretty fascinating. I don't think I've been ever, well, I'm sure other animals can sense that too, but it's a really cool experience.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, and it's really interesting, like you mentioned, because as he says, I mean, snakes can't hear, right? According to what he said at all.
Right, but I won't play loud, angry music. This is not scientifically based by any means, but I've noticed like when I'm playing music with like classical or jazz that has something of a softer vibration, they're relaxed. But if I'm playing some sort of like, I'm going to use Linkin Park, even that shows you how old I am, but I feel like they're more reactive and more nervous. This is a personal experience.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
so they can't hear, but they can sense like the difference in the vibration for sure.
Right. And it goes to show, because especially how he mentioned, I mean, these creatures are essentially entirely on the ground, right? And so their whole body is essentially one with the earth, and that helps them be extra sensitive.
Right.
And it's really interesting too, as he mentioned, how they can sense like earthquakes and all these other
fascinating
natural disasters.
So
cool. Is there anything else that you know about that, or you've heard in the past with these type of activities that snakes have?
No, but I think it's incredible. I
Okay.
think it's really awesome.
Has there ever been an instance?
I definitely noticed, like, you know how people are like, oh, if my dog doesn't like you, I won't like you. If my snake does not have any judgment towards people who don't have any past trauma experiences, if my snake acts differently around you, that is a large indicator to me that something might be awry.
Okay. And have you any experiences like that in the past with people when visiting your snakes, for instance?
Yes, I had a friend that was on like Molly or some sort of a combination of things, and he wanted to get over his fear of snakes. So he sat next to me, and I tried to introduce my snake to him. My snake did not want to go. I kept like 3 or 4 times to be like, this is not a judgment on drugs. I just meant in terms of, because you could tell his heart was racing. He was tense. He just wasn't he wasn't in a relaxed state.
Right.
And my snake could sense that. And then also I could feel his body, my snake's body around me tighten. He just was not into it. And that was one of my first experiences where I'm like, wow, this snake is understanding that this person is just not calm or not relaxed. Yeah.
Gotcha. And that's so interesting, because it goes to show how sensitive these creatures are, like life sensitive they are. And the same thing applies to actually us human beings. We're naturally, instinctively very life sensitive, but due to the almost over-compulsion and overindulgence with thoughts and feelings, we've almost lost touch with the natural aliveness that we all have, just like snakes. Right.
Which, like being light sensitive can screw up your circadian rhythm and all those other things. But by like using your phone before you go to bed and all this other stuff. But yeah.
Absolutely. And do you want to maybe talk about how snakes have helped you in the past with regards to, let's say, calming you down or things like that?
Yeah, they really calm me down a lot. And also, I mean, I think about this afterwards, but for a snake to be calm around me, I now can kind of think of it as a reward, or like I'm doing something, I don't want to say right, but is an indication that I am calm, because if I am not calm, handling the snake doesn't go as well as planned. I'm not saying they're going to bite me, but they definitely can tell if I'm nervous or I'm sad or maybe not sad, maybe not, that's not the right thing. But they can definitely tell when I'm anxious and fearful.
Got you. So they're like essentially reflections of your internal state.
Yes. Like if you've ever gone horseback riding?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, horses also are very in tuned and sensitive. Okay. And so like if you're on a trail ride and there's somebody new to a horse, like a lot of the times the horse will react, will try to get away with things like that they can't normally get away with. Okay. And they can definitely tell when you're fearful of things. Wow. But what was your direct question before I geared off? They're really calming to me. I like to be able to sit and read a book, and I can have a snake on my neck. I can do the dishes with it. Like a cat needs something from you for the most part. A dog needs something. They need to go outside. They want to be pet. Like it's nothing wrong with that bond. It's a different type of bond. But snakes don't need you. Snakes need you to like be still because they're relying on you. You are their earth right now. Yes. Like so. You are their branch, so you have to be calm and still, like Mother Earth is.
Absolutely, beautiful.
And it's just really enjoyable. And then I focus on like how the scales feel on my skin, and I'm not directing the movement of the animal by any means. Like, and so there's a point of surrendering to that. And when you surrender, there's so much bigness that you realize that you're missing. And snakes have really helped me surrender. I mean, not throughout my whole day for sure, but in those few moments, and I think that's better than not having those moments in the day.
Absolutely. It definitely helps you be present. Yeah. Because they are present creatures.
Yeah. I still get upset when people are like, ask me questions that are fear-based or they're fearful of my animals, but I'm slowly learning. That's also like a lesson. Snakes are teaching me, like, the longer I have them, the longer I have this affinity, like, I'm going to get these bombardment of questions, and I just, they're kind of helping me surrender to that is just the common stigma of what's happening.
There we go. It's just like a surrendering to the surrender.
Right.
Wow. Beautifully said. With that, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and Nicole for you being here.
Yeah, thank you.
As well as Luther. Again,
pleasure to talk about these, both snakes and Sadhguru.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of awareness that needs to be brought into the world for both snakes and Sadhguru himself. And so with that, make a great day, take it joyfully, and stay conscious. Awesome job, Nicole. You're great.
Thank you.
And that's it. Wow. Would it be cool if I held them one more time?
Sure.